Hello, my name is Michael Labasi. I am the Senior Vice President for American Income and National Income. And the reason that you're receiving this message today is because someone from our leadership team or our internal HR departments, or even perhaps one of the outside talent acquisition companies that we utilize, reviewed your resume, reviewed your background, and there was something in there that they saw that based on the individuals that we're currently seeking in our company, they see a compatibility fit. So the goal of our time together here over the next 15 to 20 minutes is for me to really share with you um, everything about our company, from our company's mission, uh, our vision for the future, our culture, and really the type of candidates that we're seeking right now as we fill our open positions. Okay, so without further ado, I'll go ahead and get started with going over company information. And I want to share a couple slides with you to help better review some of the key points in our company. So what I want to start talking about is the history of our company, a little bit about what we do, a couple main things that separate us in our industry from pretty much every other company, and that's marketing and the brand we've built for ourselves, the compensation and career track, and then also something that's very near and dear and close to our hearts and really kind of give you a look into our culture is the impact that we have in the community. And then lastly, expectations for any selected candidates we decide to move forward after this step. Okay, so a little about our company history. And I think history is important because you have to understand where a company's really been from. You got to look at their background to really kind of know where they're going. Our company was started in the early 1950s by a man named Bernard Rappaport. So just like Steve Jobs is to Apple, Bernard is to us. Okay, he founded our company in 1951, and he started us with only $25,000 in borrowed capital. And what Bernard noticed back then was most of the insurance companies were really kind of marketing to and selling to the upper class Americans only. So what Bernard wanted to do is create a company that would serve the middle working class. His way of creating that company was to create the first of its time, and still is the only 100% union label insurance company. And from that point, he had begun working relationships with unions. Unions, anything from your police, your teachers, your firefighters. He had built up so many working relationships that in the mid-1990s, 1994, he sold our company to Globe Life. Okay, their stock ticker is GL. I'll go into a little bit about who they are, who Globe is here in a bit. But Bernard started us for $25,000 in borrowed capital. Globe bought us from Bernard for $564 million. And the reason that they gave that asking price was because of all the working relationships that we had built up with labor unions. But in addition to that, we now work with a lot of credit unions and all of their members. So I'm sure you're familiar with credit union as well as associations. That's anything from your Nurses Association, Snowmobiles Association, etc. All in all, right now, we work with over 30,000 different types of groups internationally. We're in every single state, 49 states for American Income. New York, we're under the name of National Income, and we're all through Canada and New Zealand as well. So a little bit about a company's growth, and this is definitely important with the times we're in right now. What I want you to notice is looking back from the year 2007 to 2010, as you can probably remember, what was going on in the economy during that time is we were entering into one of the largest really depressions since the Great Recession, or recession since the Great Depression. And, our company had exceptional growth during that time. And then also here in the last 5 or 6 years, as the economy has been doing well and rebounded, we've done exceptionally well. So, our company has the proven ability to be recession depression proof. When times are good, we do good. When times are not so good, we still do very well, especially what's going on right now within the country and really in the world with this health scare. We've seen a very large increase in demand for our products. So as a lot of companies right now are laying off or downsizing, we're needing to do some hiring to fill these open positions specifically to meet the demand. A little bit more about Globe Life. Again, that is our parent company. Globe Life, a couple quick facts. They have roots tracing back to 1900, so over a century-old company. And right now they have about 12 million policyholders, which is more than any other insurance company in the country. So pretty impressive. You probably heard of Globe Life because of our national brandings. Globe Life Field in Arlington. If you're a baseball fan, the Texas Rangers. We have the naming rights to that stadium. We're also the official insurance company of the Dallas Cowboys, so America's team. And then we have other things like FC Dallas, et cetera, some national exposure. And then just to give you the scope and the size of our parent company, Globe, last year they did $3.6 billion with a B in earned premium revenues. So a very, very large organization that we're blessed to be owned by. And, another thing, as we talked about before, is, that's kind of the growth we've had both as a company and as a parent company. Where are we going in the future? So right now, with the uncertainty going on in our country and in the world, the need for our product has increased. So we're projecting growth well after, everything's kind of the dust is settled on this health scare. Okay, so something that's important when looking for a company is going to be their financial stability. So if anyone, watching this, if you before, whether it be high school or college, were the valedictorian of your class, number one, congratulations. I certainly was not. But something very difficult to become is the best in your class. So there's a company out there called AM Best. They're the country's oldest and most respected insurance ratings companies. And what they do is they grade insurance companies based upon the criteria of their ability to pay out all their claims, their overall financial stability, and their overall growth potential as a company. We have held and continue to hold an A+ superior rating from AM Best. Only, I think, about 3% of insurance companies are privileged enough to have that type of rating. We're very proud of that. That to us is like our valedictorian in the insurance industry. Now let's kind of transition to nuts and bolts and really what it is that we do. Okay, so at the core of what we do, dating back 60 plus years, we provide supplemental benefits to protect the assets of middle-class, hardworking families. So that's what we do. We do this several different ways. When we partner with groups, we give them a lot of benefits really at no cost to them just for partnering up with us, such as discounts in their health services, child safe kits, which is now app-based. You can download on their phone, that heaven forbid, one of their children ever be abducted. This will have all the information they need to get to authorities right away to greatly increase the chances of their child being recovered. Accidental death and dismemberment benefits, again, at no cost, we give people blanket coverage on that. And then we also have additional benefits, things like accidental coverage to help them through work, and then different life benefits, ones that help cover their mortgages, kids' college educations, heaven forbid something ever happened to them, cover their income, God forbid, the main breadwinner, one of the main breadwinners were to pass away unexpectedly. It's going to keep their income coming into the home, and then final expense protection to help everything from the funeral and the final expenses. So a lot of additional supplemental benefits that we provide our members that specifically are made to meet their needs. Okay. And the way we get these out to our members is through our marketing. And this is really important. This is really what separates our company, I think, from every other company in our industry. And that's the marketing and our branding. So we have a leg of our company. They're called our public relations department, separate entity. And what their job is to do is to meet with all the groups and organizations that we want to work with and really kind of explain to them all the benefits and all the positives they get from having a working relationship with our company. So as you know, most people in our industry probably spend 80 to 90% of their time cold calling, prospecting, door to door, maybe even bugging family and friends. We don't do that here, and that's all in thanks to our public relations department. So if you are a football fan, I always like to give what I call the red zone theory. So as you can imagine, when the offense drives the length of the field and they get into the opponent's red zone or 20-yard line or better, from there, the probability of scoring is very high. So what our public relations department does for us is they help us basically drive the length of the field, and they give us the ball when we're in the red zone. And that's through a 4-step marketing process. The first step is obviously they meet with these groups and set them up. The second step is once we sign with a group and agree to work with them, and they'd agree to work with us, a national mailing is sent out to every single member in that group. One thing to note, the mailing that they receive, it's actually on their stationery for their group, not on our companies. So what I mean by that is if you're a police officer and a member of the police association, you would get a piece of mail from your police association. What we found is, knowing that that's what puts a food on the table, pays the mortgages, puts kids through college, they're going to open that letter and see what they have to offer. So we get about 100% penetration. Then once they read what we have to offer, it lets them know that they're getting some no-cost benefits to our company. And when they return the card, there's a 3x5 card they can either mail back or they can do it online. They'll be getting contacted by a representative from our company to deliver and explain these benefits to them, okay? To them and their family. So when we only contact the members that return the card, which is pretty unique. We're not bugging the ones who don't. We get about a 20 up to a 40% return on these mailings. And if you're familiar with direct marketing, it's typically like a 0.5% to a 1% return is usually what we're seeing. So we're 20 to 40 times that actual return. And then the last step is where we come in. It's our job to deliver and explain these benefits. Now we have 2 options for this. We have the ability to see them in person, to go over this with them, but now we also have the ability to do this virtually. So we understand, especially with the current health scares in our country, and other people are just busy and want to handle this virtually. So we have the ability to connect with them virtually, present to them virtually, and enroll them virtually. So those are really the kind of 2 options we have there. So let's kind of talk about our compensation and our advancements. So not only do we have a marketing program that really puts us in position to score, we also have some of the most competitive compensation packages in the entire industry, both through a weekly advancing system weekly based on our enrollments, as well as a weekly bonus that we have. So we found it to be extremely motivating that our representatives and our managers in our company can earn a bonus on a weekly basis, okay? That plus we have a career track for leadership. We're very, very big on promoting from within, developing our talent from within, and moving them up within the company. So I want to talk to you about the compensation packages that are tied to the positions right now and the different positions that we're looking to promote from within. Because we're in a growth phase right now, we're facilitating and looking really to bring people aboard and put them into our leadership career track. However, every single person starts with our company as an individual producer. The job of an individual producer is to see and serve our clientele. The average income for an individual producer is between about $45,000 and $75,000 within your weekly advances, weekly bonuses, etc. We definitely have some producers earning well over that, but I want to give you the average range from a startup producer. Once we have someone excel in that position, if they're in a leadership career track, we have specific merit-based promotions to allow them to move up into the first level leadership position. And you see on there, it's within 3 to 6 months. And that's a supervising agent. So again, this is a first level leadership position, and a supervising agent is going to be responsible from anywhere from maybe 2 to 5 people. So first level leadership position, their job's really kind of show and tell. So we want them to be able to show any of our individual producers and any new people that we bring aboard really how to see and serve our clientele and help in their development. So they get an increase in pay. They get an increase and they also start earning what's called a leadership bonus. So what a leadership bonus is if I'm an individual producer, my supervising agent that's responsible for training me, I get a bonus every single week. My supervising agent just for training me can earn over 100% of my weekly bonus, not out of my bonus, over and above my bonus. So knowing that, how good do you think that person would train me? And the answer is very well. And this is actually one of the reasons Forbes named us one of the happiest companies to work for in America, which is pretty unique and pretty cool because we think of how we really set up the structure and our leadership as one of those reasons. Once we have a supervising agent do well and excel at that, we promote them into the position of a general agent. General agent, more middle management role. Again, compensation increases here, 70 to 150,000 is the average range. Again, you see the plus sign, meaning we have people earning well above that as a general agent. And then from there, there's a lot of development going on in that position to get this person to a master general agent position. So it can be earned within 9 to 18 months. This should be a minimum 6-figure opportunity within an organization. A lot of people here call this their professional contract. So it's kind of like making it to the big leagues or making it to the NFL is what people consider. This contract is a top tier leadership position. You have a lot of responsibility and people that you're working with directly, whether it's training, continued training, decision processes on any new people to bring aboard, promotion decisions, really all of those like GM type level decision making going on there. And then once we have a master general agent that really excels, we then promote them into the next position, which is even higher ranking, which is a regional general agent. This is now where you're developing people, to become master general agents. You're helping open offices for the company within your territory. As you can see, a very high income range there, 200,000 to 450. And again, plus from that point is definitely possible. Okay, so that's a little bit about our compensation and our career track if you are selected to move on to the next step of the process. In detail, we'll be covering the compensation and let you know if you're in consideration for that career track. One of the last things I want to cover is the main reason people join our industry, and that's because of something called residual income, okay? This is even more important in the current times we're in right now in our country and in the world. Right now, we have companies laying off, downsizing. People cannot go into work. People can't bring home a paycheck for their family. We're fortunate in our industry and in our company to have something called residual income. And a simple example of this is if you are a fan of any, maybe let's call it a TV show that doesn't run anymore. Let's just keep it simple, take Seinfeld. So Seinfeld hasn't made a show since the 1990s, I believe, right? Every year, Jerry Seinfeld receives millions of dollars for making Seinfeld back in the 1990s. Why? It's through what's called a royalty. He's being compensated every single time a rerun of his show is being played. And there's really only 2 industries that this exists in the way it does. Number 1 is Hollywood with actors and singers. You don't want to hear me sing. And number 2 is going to be through the financial services industry. So the way it works at our company is every time we enroll someone for a product, we're compensated at that time for that enrollment. However, everything the 13th month and after, we're being compensated every single time they make their monthly payment in the form of a renewal. So we have stability within our company. So if someone's been here for 5 years or 10 years or 15 years, and the rest of America really can't work and people being able to be compensated is at risk, once a month, we're receiving a renewal check for all the work we've done in the past. So there's a couple ways to structure renewals. 2 important things to note. We have a 10-year vesting program. What that means is this: when you're working with our company, you get 100% of your renewals. Most companies in our industry, as soon as you leave that company, you don't get your renewals anymore. At American Income and National Income, the way we've set this up is every 1 year you're with us, you're 10% more vested in your renewals if you decide to leave the company. So after 5 years, you're 50% vested. Anyone who's here 10 years or longer is 100% vested in their renewals when they decide to retire with our organization. Okay, so 100% vested. And the second thing to note, we offer a lifetime renewal package, which pays the renewals for the entire lifetime of those policies, not even our lifetime. So something very, very attractive to a lot of people who joined our industry. The last thing I want to cover with you is our culture. What we're looking for compatibility-wise has to kind of fit in with some of the things I'm about to review. And number 1 is we help people. We make a very good income for ourselves, but we also like to have fun. We have a lot of different trips and a lot of different incentives for the people that we have on our team. One of those is every single year we have a convention. This is a all expense paid trip for two to a 5-star resort around the world that can be earned by every single person in the company. We give everyone a qualification based on their position within the organization, and they can earn those trips. Those are some of the locations we've been to. Just an incredible time, and one of the things we do to reward our people. And again, we have fun, we make a very good income, but we help people. That's at the core of what we do. What we call that, what we have for that is a program called Make Tomorrow Better. And this is the program that every single year we're donating hundreds of thousands of dollars just into this. Around the company is millions of dollars that we're donating. But to Make Tomorrow Better, we make a difference. The founder of our company, Bernard Rappaport, said, if we're going to work in a community, we need to be constantly giving back to that community. And one of the ways we do that is through our Make Tomorrow Better program. So people that we look for, we want someone who wants to make a difference, make an impact, whether making an income. Okay. Sorry about that. Okay. What is next? From this point, I just want to cover with you what it takes. We're going to be kind of getting your feedback, whether it's someone from our talent acquisition company reaching out to you after this or someone from our internal leadership team or HR department. We want to get your feedback on your compatibility to be possible pick for a career with us. If you believe you're compatible, and on our end, we believe you're one of the compatible candidates, we'll offer out a final step in the interview process. So we want you to make sure if that happens, that you understand what it takes to be successful within our company, at least initially on. Number one is we have to have a state license. This is by every single state. It's a state requirement, not a company requirement. Okay, we'll go through those requirements for you and the classes that you need to take in order to do that. I want you to understand that this is something that you're doing for yourself to have the rest of your life. So even if maybe we make it down to that end of the process and we don't want to move forward with you, or it's not an exact fit, getting a state life and health license is a resume builder. It's something you carry with you for the rest of your life. You got to renew it every couple of years, but definitely a resume builder. Next is going to be a smartphone and a laptop. So we have a world-renowned CRM that we use. All of our leads go into that CRM. It's very user-friendly. You have to have a smartphone to operate that. And then we also have a digital-based presentation. You have to have any basic laptop to run that. Training is important. Anyone we bring aboard, we're making a large investment, both of resources and time, giving that person everything they need to succeed. So please make sure if we do bring you aboard, that initial, onboarding time of about 90 days or so, there's very limited distractions. And last but not least, we're looking for someone that has an entrepreneur attitude. We want someone that wants to be in business for themselves, but definitely not by themselves. They want that support and everything that comes from our company. But we want an entrepreneurial attitude. We're not looking for someone that's looking for that typical 9-to-5 kind of clock in and clock out. We want someone who thinks bigger, dreams bigger, and has large goals for themselves and their family. So with that being said, like I said, from this step, someone from our talent acquisition companies or our leadership team or HR department internally is going to be reaching out to you to get your feedback and decide if the next step of the process is a fit on both ends. It was a pleasure speaking to all of you. Thank you very much for your time, and we look forward to working with a couple of you very soon.